next time you're thinking about writing something bad about a major corporation online, maybe you should ask David and Ina Steiner how that worked out for them. This is the story of eBay's revenge.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Weird World Podcast. Me llamo Dean. Oh, I'm sorry, Dion. So I like to how to pronounce my name in Spanish.
It would be Dayon.
Dayon. All right.
That's weird. I'm not sure it would be. I'm not sure that's how they would pronounce it.
AI tells me it's pronounced Dayon. I'm trusting
Carrie.
AI for everything now. As you know from this show, that we're huge fans. Carrie, by the way, with her soothing FM radio voice, can even make really terrible, terrible things sound soothing and comfortable. But this is a story that is hopefully will scare the shit out of you because it did me.
You know what my original tease was going to be?
What?
I didn't have the whole thing figured out, but it was going to start out. They call it corporate terrorism.
Oof.
What sadistic pleasure these people took in terrorizing us.
Yikes. So that gives you a taste of what we're going to talk about. I don't know a ton of details about it, but I'm hoping you do.
That quote is from a man named David Steiner.
Mm-hmm.
He and his wife, Ina, were just, this nice little couple living in a suburb of Boston, Natick, Massachusetts. Never heard of it before.
It's just outside of Boston.
Yeah. They were
I
married.
say that with authority.
Because I already said it was Boston suburb.
Exactly.
They were married 30 plus years. In 1999, they founded an online newsletter called E-Commerce Bites.
Wait, what year? I'm sorry.
99.
99. Okay.
It had another name at first, but eventually becomes E-Commerce Bites.
Equally great name. Whatever the name was before.
But it's Bites, B-Y-T-E-S,
Oh, I didn't realize how clever it was.
At this point, eBay is about 4 years old. They're the, I guess, preeminent e-commerce website.
So they're already big time?
Well, they're 4 years old. So, yeah, they are probably, at this point, they're probably it, right?
Yeah. Well, Craigslist, but Craigslist was never a for-profit thing.
Yeah, that was a very garage sale-y kind of.
It was, but it was volume probably. But eBay by this time is making gobs of money.
Yes.
I think. Yeah.
And so it's essentially an e-commerce trade publication. They're giving advice to buyers initially when they first started out, but eventually it becomes a resource mainly for sellers on various e-commerce websites, not just eBay, but like Etsy and Amazon and
Etsy was around back then?
Eventually.
Okay.
Basically, therefore, anybody who sells online,
So
wherever you sell
tips
online.
on trade. Okay. Got it.
And they talk about these corporations also. So staff at these corporations obviously also read their newsletter. They have like 600,000 readers.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
That's pretty big. Wow.
Eventually, we're talking the events that I'm going to talk about started in 2019.
Oh,
so
really?
at that point, they have 600,000.
It'd be like in 2000 or so, or 1999.
No. By 2019.
Oh,
I don't know how long.
6,000.
Yeah.
Okay. So they're around for 20 years when the bad things started happening. Okay. So that's pretty impressive. Okay.
So they also get comments on their website. And, they do see that there are corporate staff from these companies do post comments on their website. They also critique the corporate policy changes at e-commerce platforms, including eBay.
Okay. That timeline helps me because when I thought you were kind of saying this happened in 1999. So this happened is 2019.
No, yeah. They
eBay
founded
was,
their
course, a
site. Yeah.
Massive, one of the biggest companies in the world.
Yeah.
Okay.
So in the summer of 2019, August to be exact, they start getting bombarded with emails. Like when you sign up for some website or some online newsletter or whatever, you get a welcome email and you start getting the actual emails from the company. And some of these
yes, I know that
online things
very well.
can send you a lot of emails. So
or they sell your name to other vendors who start selling you emails that you don't want. Yeah.
But they're getting them from odd online newsletters that they certainly never signed up for. Such as Sin City Fetish Night,
Okay.
the Satanic Temple, the Communist Party, lots of pornographic websites.
The County's Party is very pornographic. I used to be a subscriber.
I mean, I wouldn't mind if I might go look up the Satanic Temple and subscribe to their newsletter.
Okay. Maybe, listeners, she's joking.
No, I'm not joking.
Okay, well, let's just say you are because that's ridiculous.
Well, I'm
You're
assuming...
a Satanist.
I'm assuming it's... Well, you know what the Satanists are. They're not really Satanists.
Okay, then.
Okay.
Why would you want to...
So anyway, then they start getting private Twitter messages, and they see even public tweets criticizing their content.
Really?
And they start, I'm assuming these are the DMs, threatening ones, and like threatening to come visit them. Yeah.
Was the Church of Satan threatening? Because they could bring Satan with them. Who
No,
has him?
this wasn't coming from the Church of Satan. These are obviously anonymous.
Was it the Communist Party? Because they had both sickles and hammers.
So then David gets a voicemail, and it's a person saying they couldn't fulfill their order for a wet specimen.
A wet specimen.
They
I
don't even
if I
know
wanna
what a
Okay.
wet specimen is.
Good. I'm glad to hear that.
And they don't know, and I think they don't respond, and they figure this is part of whoever's harassing
Yeah,
them.
I was going to say, so at this point, they feel like they're being harassed.
Yes.
This is not just,
Yes.
someone sold our name and this is a bunch of spammy kind of stuff. They're
Yeah.
clearly feeling like they're being harassed.
Yes.
Targeted.
And Ina, I think, is mostly responsible for the content on their website. She can't figure out who she's made this angry. Like, what did she write that somebody is this upset about? Because they're just harassing them. They're not being specific. They're not saying, take down your posts
Yeah.
against Etsy or take down your posts against eBay or whatever. They don't. She really has no idea.
Extortionist, I want just a pro tip. You need to be specific about what you want that person to stop doing. It's like the mob comes into your store and just starts, smacking you around. Okay, what did I do? What behavior should I stop? You got to be extortionist. Be specific.
Yeah. The problem is then you identify yourself too, right?
Damn it.
So they call the police and they report what's going on. The police send somebody over and he's taking a report. And then when he's about to leave, they notice that while the cop was there, they got a package delivered.
Oh.
So the cop says, I'm going to wait here while you open it. I want to see what this is.
I think I might wait behind a large heavy object just to be.
Because I'm sure they're fearing this is going to be the wet specimen's going to be delivered, right?
I want to wait outside. You open it.
So they open it up, and Ina said, when they open it up, it looks like flesh and hair.
Ew.
And it turns out it was a pig mask like the one in Saw.
Real
So
pig?
it's a scary horror movie kind of pig mask.
But actual pig.
No.
Oh, okay. Just looks like flesh and hair.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because it was wrapped in plastic.
Oh,
so
okay.
it looks, it's like pig
That's from Saw.
flesh colored.
I've never seen
I
it.
guess. I've never seen it either. It just looked really scary.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then over the next week, they get a package of live cockroaches and spiders. Their neighbors received a delivery of pornographic DVDs to their neighbor's address, but addressed to David Steiner.
So somebody dropped that off then, right?
No, they
Like accidental,
they
post.
intentionally put the neighbor's address.
Yeah.
Like it was a mistake, but they put David Steiner's name on it. So now your neighbors think
so now
you're
they're-
ordering porn.
Okay. Yeah. I see. Clever.
I mean, these people are 12. And their home they find out that their home is listed, their home address is listed on a garage sale finder website. So probably every weekend they're getting people coming to their home at 7 a.m.
That's what Bart Simpson did to Lisa in one episode. That's where they got the ideas from.
And they also realized that their address appeared on a Craigslist post for sex parties. So basically inviting people to come to their home for group sex,
Lord.
I guess.
Somebody just shows up. All he has on is a G-string. Hi, is this where the sex party is?
I didn't know this was a thing. I mean, I know Craigslist has some super questionable stuff, but
There's 6 guys out there, and all they have is raincoats on. Should we?
so
move?
weird. David also gets a package in the mail with a book. Quote, the title is, quote, Surviving the Loss of a Spouse.
Oh no.
And this he takes
That
as
sounds like a death threat.
an actual threat.
Yeah.
He thinks this is a death threat against his wife. So he's getting super scared. He's afraid that somebody's actually literally going to target his wife.
And by the way, another pro tip, listeners, don't ever get that for your wife for like Christmas or birthday. It's never, you think it might be funny, turns out it's not.
And so then to further cement this as a death threat, they got a very expensive funeral wreath. Flowers.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely a death threat.
Yeah. So
But a very, I mean, they think they're being super, like deniable, plausible deniability. What? No.
Yeah.
Not that plausible, but
stupid.
lawyers think anything deniability is plausible.
I mean, I guess you could say you accidentally sent it to the wrong address,
Yeah.
but no, because the book had to come to his name because it was specific that it was for David. So they're so scared. They're afraid to leave their house. They're afraid in their house.
I was going to say, I'd be afraid to stay at my house.
Yeah.
Obviously, they know where you live.
They start sleeping in separate bedrooms because they think if someone breaks into our house to hurt us,
One of us might live.
one of us might be able to call the police and or escape.
And with my knees, you could probably outrun me.
While the other one is being harmed, which is super scary. I mean, they were literally being terrorized. I know a lot of this stuff sounds funny and goofy,
No.
but imagine.
Yeah, because there's a significant resources being spent here doing
Yes.
this. This is, I mean, it could just be, you want to probably believe some rando picked us for some reason. He's 1,000 miles away, but you never know.
Yeah. And they know it's related to their business.
Yeah.
So I would be really scared because obviously whoever's doing this knows where they live. So when they would have to go to the store, David would drive and Ina would lay down in the back seat because she was afraid somebody was following them, or it seemed like she was the target more than David, obviously.
Yeah. The first time, though, they did that, if I remember correctly, David also laid down, but he crashed into the neighbor's
Yeah.
car, so they had to.
So
Are these dad jokes landing? Or
No, they're
okay,
not.
Thanks. Appreciate that.
So David starts noticing vehicles following him. So first he notices a van is following him, and then he notices a car following him. So when the car was following him, he was able to get a license plate, and he gave it to the police. The police ran the license plate, and it turns out it was a rental car. So they contacted the rental car agency, and they got the name of the person who rented the car. It was a woman named Veronica Zay. They contacted the Steiners and say,
Pretty
hey,
cool name, I have to admit.
do you know somebody named Veronica Zay? They're all like, no, never heard of her. And then Ina starts doing a little digging, and she says, oh my God, she works for eBay.
Oh my God.
I don't know how she figured this out. Maybe she had posted a comment on their website or something, but somehow.
Well, I mean, you could always, I don't know, how public is that? How would you find like employees of eBay by name? Could you? Like corporate
mean-
employees by name? I don't know that you could, unless they're on like a website or something like that.
yeah. I mean,
But that's a huge company with thousands of employees. So.
yeah. Yeah, and it would depend on what level they are. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure like high level executives is
Sure.
public information, but
she's not, I'm assuming.
yeah, I'm assuming she's not either, since she's rented a car to stock the Steiners in Massachusetts. So now they know her name, and they're able to track it to the Boston Ritz-Carlton.
Oh.
So-
Well,
Veronica's got an expense account.
yeah. eBay was like, you know what? Treat yourself while you're there, while you're harassing people for
Yeah.
for V. They called it V.
So they go there, and they call up to her room from the lobby. I don't know why they just don't go knock on her door. They are the police.
Yeah.
And she tells them she's on a conference call and she'll come down when she's done.
Okay.
What do you think happened?
I would hope they went up to the room immediately.
No, they didn't.
Waited.
They waited, and
Oh,
she
my
never showed up.
God. Okay.
She left town without ever talking to the police.
What?
Yeah.
This is the worst. Please, God damn it, please.
So the detective working on the case.
What could I do? I mean, she didn't come down. I was powerless to
I
do anything
know.
else about
It's
that.
so weird.
They're clearly not taking it very seriously. That can't be. You'd go up there unannounced.
I would
knock on her
think.
ass door.
I don't know.
harass
Maybe
Doris.
the Ritz Carlton has a policy.
Ritz Carlton can suck it. You flash that badge. I've seen it on TV.
Maybe you
I'm
need-
sorry, you can't come in here, sir. You flash the badge. Like, oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Maybe you need a key card to get up in the elevator
Yeah. Again, you're a police officer.
without a warrant.
So what? You can go up. I guarantee they can get the person to go to to let them up.
I don't know. I kind of don't mind if hotels don't
I bet
without a warrant.
I still think they do.
Anyway, the detective doesn't stop there because Veronica doesn't come down to talk to him.
No.
He starts looking into that funeral wreath because, florists, when they deliver things, obviously somebody had to pay for it. And so they find out that it was bought with a gift card, and they find out where that gift card was purchased. I'm assuming it's like one of those Visa gift cards or something. And because it was bought at a convenience store in the Silicon Valley.
Okay.
I'm
Where
guessing
eBay is.
I'm guessing San
located.
Jose, because is that where eBay is located?
I think so.
Anyway, this convenience store is located, I think, a few miles away from eBay's headquarters. And they're able to, I think they probably contacted local law enforcement, and then they go to the convenience store to find out if they can get like surveillance video, because convenience stores typically do have video inside the store. And so somehow they're able to figure out what time that gift card was purchased, because they have to be activated when you buy it.
Oh, okay.
So there are electronic records of what, when and what time a certain gift card was activated.
So this was before she went to follow them, and
So they're able to get pictures of the person who bought the gift card. Who do you think it was?
I think it's Veronica Z.
It was Veronica Zay.
Yeah. Zay. No, I call her Z. Her LinkedIn is like eBay PR, team player.
So I'm guessing at this point, because it's interstate stuff, right?
Yeah.
The FBI gets involved.
And the post office can get involved too.
Why?
If she's
Oh, yeah,
sending
because
things
they're mailing
by mail,
things. Yeah, you're right. Well, the FBI takes over and they start investigating. And about 10 months later, they announce the indictment of 6 eBay employees and contractors on basically federal cyberstalking charges, and that they targeted this couple in Massachusetts because eBay executives were unhappy with the coverage of eBay on the Steiner's website.
Good Lord.
Which is just crazy. The prosecutor, the federal prosecutor, said that relatively senior management at a Fortune 500 company thought it was a good idea to launch a campaign of terror against a middle-aged couple. Why? Why you got to say they're a middle-aged couple?
You always have to say ages and these things. Carrie, just be happy they don't say addresses anymore. All right.
That's true. In Massachusetts. So then you have the question of why.
Yeah.
Why did they do
that's-
this?
This is one of the biggest companies in the world.
Yeah.
Is the dominant company in terms of e-commerce. And this, I mean, I know they had a decent readership, but good Lord, corporations are thin-skinned dick fucks.
Yeah, it's crazy. Well, you want to know why, and it is a little
Yeah.
bit complicated, but apparently in early January 2019, a hedge fund called Elliott Management got a significant investment in eBay, and they sent a letter to the board of directors requesting changes like replacing the CEO,
Oh, wow.
saying
An activist investor.
saying that eBay was underperforming its peers in the market
Wow.
for a prolonged period of
Demonstrably
time.
not true.
I don't know who their peers in the
That's just-
market are.
That's just them trying to flex their muscle.
Yeah.
Elliot, I mean, just being assholes.
So
Or they could have thought the management was whatever reason, but you use that as the,
sure, yeah.
technical reason.
So eBay management is feeling the stress and the pressure. And they actually were very aware of the Steiner's website, and they'd been bothered by some of the stuff the Steiners had been posting. But previously,
Do you have any example of what they had posted? I mean,
well, I'll tell you.
was it? Okay.
But previously, the eBay executives have been told, like, it's a minor
Yeah.
publication. Like it's not a big player
fairly
in
specialized.
anything. Yeah, it's not
And it's going for, remember, it's not even directed at consumers, it's directed at
the sellers.
The sellers. And trust me, if you're
Yeah.
a seller in e-commerce, you're not going to suddenly, oh, screw eBay.
Exactly.
I don't need them.
I mean, it seems to me that they weren't able to tie it to any kind of adverse action against eBay based on anything the Steiners have been reporting. So it's all very, like you said, thin-skinned.
It is. It's like Elon Musk. Elon Musk,
oversensitive.
just freaks out. It's the Barbara Streisand. It's the Streisand effect to a certain extent. If you just leave it alone, you're going to do much worse if you publicize it. In this case, eBay
Absolutely.
is going to take a huge black eye that never needed to happen.
Well, so in April 2019, so shortly after all of this hedge fund pressure starts happening, the CEO shares a post. I've seen it both ways. The CEO shared this post, or the corporate communications director shared the post with him. But basically, it's a post that Ina had written about his annual pay, the CEO's annual pay, which is public information. Specifically, that it was 152 times that of the average eBay employee's salary.
A very common metric that
Yes.
is first of all, outrageous. It was 40 to 1, not 30 or 40 years ago. It's much more now, of course.
Yeah, 152 times. So this was
That's the average too, not the least pay, but the average.
the average pay. So she reported this in April of 2019. So this was based on his 2018 salary, which was, or his total compensation, $18.17 million. In 2017, his total compensation was $17.67 million, and in 2016, it was $15.94 million.
Yeah, he's
Crazy.
insane, and is the whole CEOs as stars and kind of things, and irreplaceable when they just aren't. They pretty much never are.
Ridiculous.
Especially in companies this big, who's their business. I mean, you can. Well, I don't want to go off on it, but I think CEOs can do more harm than good.
Yeah. Well, eBay's chief communications officer who I referenced earlier, his name is Steve Weimer, and he wrote to the CEO, Devin Wenig. I want to make sure people know these names.
Yes,
because they're very bad people. He wrote back, quote, "We are going to crush this lady."
Yeah, let's do this, man. Woo! Team eBay.
So-
eBay's not going to take shit from no one.
Ina got this information directly from their public disclosures that are required by the Dodd-Frank Wall Street Reform and Consumer Protection Act. So, and they put it in like the annual shareholder stuff, right? That they
Put in
have
what?
to send
Like,
to
we're going to
people.
crush the Steiners.
No. Like their salary
Okay.
information.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So, and they have to put other information, like they have to disclose lawsuits and all that kind of stuff. Because I think another point of contention with the CEO was she reported on some lawsuit between, I think it was eBay suing Amazon.
It's in public information.
So what? People who care about that stuff
Know about
read
that
your
stuff.
own public disclosure stuff,
Yeah.
I would imagine.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It's just so stupid.
Yeah. It sounds like they were looking out, they were getting external harassment and pressure, so it's looking for someone to lash out.
Yes. So Weimer, like I said, wrote to the CEO, "We are going to crush this lady." And then the CEO texted to him, quote, "Take her down."
Smart move. Let me guess. He's later saying, no, what? No, you misinterpret that. I meant take her downtown and show her a good time and try to just talk some sense into her, buy her some drinks. That's what I obviously meant, says my lawyer.
So Weimer, the communications guy, texts eBay's security director, a man named Jim Baugh, Baugh.
Oh, I was hoping that was his first name, Jim Bob.
No, Jim
Bob Johnson.
Baugh. He texts him that Ina Steiner was, quote, "a biased troll who needs to be burned down."
Burned down.
Burned
Do we know
down.
yet what she said?
All
It was just reported on the salary.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Public information.
Yes.
Reported on a lawsuit. Also public information. Mm-hmm. Okay.
That he wanted to, quote, "see ashes," and that Bosch should do, quote, "whatever it takes."
Whatever it takes. Again, Carrie, you're putting such a nasty clean on this. Whatever it takes meant however many gifts you could buy her, however many paid vacations you could send her.
To burn her down and see
To
ashes.
burn her down, Carrie. In some parts of the country, that's a well-known slang term for build her up. It's just
Well, interesting.
like, man, I'm going to burn that lady down. I think it might have been a sexual term.
Sure, Dean. So that quote, "Whatever it takes," is not surprisingly the title of a 2024 documentary or documentary,
As some
the other
podcasters
way
say.
of saying it. But I think it must be Canadian because we don't have access to it here. It was released in 2024, but I can't access it anywhere.
It's kind of like their 60 Minutes.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Apple TV, Amazon Prime, they all
Can't find
say, you're in the wrong country, lady.
Sorry.
So if you're in Canada, watch it and email
about
us.
it.
Tell us what's in it. So anyhow, a few days after these texts between Weimer and Jim Baugh, Jim decides to convene a meeting with his security staff because he's the security director. Because clearly this is a security
In
concern.
what way is this a security concern? Yeah.
And in this meeting, he posts a map on the wall. Where do you think this map is of?
Boston, Natick. What is it called?
Natick.
Natick.
Natick, Boston.
Natick,
Mm-hmm.
Massachusetts.
Oh, yeah, Natick, Massachusetts. So the 7 people in this meeting are all part of eBay's safety and security unit.
It's also known as Team Crush the Steiners.
Yes.
I believe.
Some, maybe all, are dispatched to Boston. I'm not entirely sure. Now I'm going to name these 7
Name and shame.
gems of humanity. Stephanie Pop,
Stephanie Pop,
Philip Cook.
Philip Cook. There might be a lot of Philip Cooks. Do you have a middle name?
No.
Damn it. Okay, if you know Philip Cook, just to be safe, ask them if they're a dipshit. And if they are, unfriend them.
It's Philip with 1 L and Cook with an E at the end.
Okay, that helps.
Veronica Zay,
Yeah.
Z-E-A is how you spell Zay.
Yeah, that should be easy.
Jim Baugh,
Jim Baugh also.
David Harville,
Yeah.
Stephanie Stockwell, and Brian Gilbert.
Brian Gilbert, that's going to be a tough one also.
And for what it's worth, don't know if this has any meaning, but the 3 women are all young and pretty. And
Eager to please. Well, just like, I bet you they're all like, the PR security people, they tend to be, I'm going to stop talking. 'Cause,
Yeah.
I mean, they tend to be very eager types. They hire the people very passionate and very eager, and that can get easily misdirected at some point. And the youngest, again, this is going to sound ageist a little bit, but you are less likely to have that filter, that to have that experience to say, you know what?
This
Let's
isn't
step
right.
back. This
Yeah.
is not the right thing to do. You're just looking to move up. You're just looking to please.
well, but why I'm saying this, all 3 women are young and pretty. All 4 men are not young and are not pretty. They all look like they're in their 40s and 50s.
Corporate America.
It's a little interesting. Don't know what the goal of comprising this team was, but
I'm not even sure what you're saying. Go ahead.
2 of these guys, Philip Cook and Brian Gilbert, are actually former cops.
Oh, God.
Also not a
A
surprise.
lot of that's all. A lot of tech security, a lot of corporate security. Period.
Yeah.
Are former cops
And one of the women,
for obvious reasons.
don't know why this is relevant, and I'm not sure which one of the women, because they didn't name her, is a former nanny.
Okay.
It's like, who was she a nanny for? Weimer, Wenig,
The Mansons.
Jim Baugh? I don't know. So anyway, this stalking and harassment campaign was, essentially designed to intimidate the Steiners into changing their coverage of eBay.
How would they know? They have to be. Yeah,
good
these
question.
are 7 fairly stupid human beings.
Well, I think
let's harass them. They'll figure it out.
I think what the plan was, because I was going to look this up and I didn't, but it culminating in the quote white knight strategy, where Brian Gilbert was going to pretend to come to their rescue,
God.
right? And help them because he's an official eBay security guy, right? And then get goodwill from them. Like, I'm going to try to figure out I'm going to help you figure out who is
So he was
harassing
going.
you.
So if they didn't find out that Veronica Say worked for eBay, he would have at some point approached them
I
and
think
said,
so.
"Hey, I heard about your troubles. I work for eBay." At which point they say, "Okay, Why are you here? Oh my God, this has to do with eBay. I don't know how that strategy is going to work.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Yeah, they're not super smart.
Well, I guess that was the plan, but obviously the FBI got involved before that. This was all in the summer of 2019. So they investigated it and
That's pretty
figured it
quick.
out pretty quickly.
Other than the, she didn't come down, what were you going to do in the hotel? It seems like a good investigation.
Well, it took 10 months, like I said, for them to file federal charges.
That's lightning speed for the law enforcement on these kinds of things.
In June 2020 is when those 7 employees were charged with federal charges. They were conspiracy to commit cyber stalking and conspiracy to tamper with witnesses.
That was the Brian Gilbert thing, theoretically? He was going to, approach them and be white knight?
Well, I think it's all of them because what they're doing is tampering with the Steiners, who essentially are going to be witnesses to their cyber stalking crimes, right?
Okay, I guess.
And so all 7 of them plead guilty.
Really?
Yep.
That must have been, so they must have been in communication with eBay lawyers before they brought those charges then.
Oh, I'm sure. The police contact eBay saying, hey, we think something's up. We're doing an investigation, right? Or the FBI. And the people at eBay, escalate this. We've gotten this contact. And they're basically saying there's an investigation. You need to preserve all evidence.
Yeah.
They don't.
eBay did. Okay. Shocker.
Yeah. The people the higher ups that find out about it start deleting text messages and stuff like that, which is...
Honestly, that I know they're supposed to do that, but it just tips them off to start
I know,
destroying evidence.
I know.
They
need to
never
go in
do.
there and do a search warrant before
Absolutely.
they do that. But yeah,
I've never understood that.
yeah. And I have worked for corporations where we've had to do that too. And I've always thought the same thing. What's going to prevent
Thanks for the
somebody
warning.
from deleting stuff?
Start shredding.
Well, now with digital information, it becomes
Yeah.
obvious.
Yeah, but you could freeze them. Go, that's why
I know,
get a warrant
yeah,
and
yes.
freeze their electronic communications.
So I'm guessing it says they all plead guilty to stalking or cyber stalking charges. So I'm thinking they're getting rid of the tampering with witnesses because
Yeah, that
I
seemed
think
weird.
that's a pretty serious
Oh, is it really?
charge. Tampering with witnesses? I'm pretty sure it is.
It didn't cost Diddy any time.
Well, so anyway, Jim Baugh, he's the senior security director, who I think directed the whole harassment and intimidation campaign. He was sentenced to 5 years in prison.
Not nearly enough.
David Harville, his title was Director of Global Resiliency.
Okay.
What the F? I mean, some of these are ridiculous titles. Like, what does that even mean?
It means nothing. It sounds cool.
It doesn't even sound that cool.
It kind of does.
He was sentenced to 2 years in prison.
A fraction.
Stephanie Pop, Senior Manager of Global Intelligence.
That makes sense.
I mean,
She's a spy.
I don't remember which picture was her. She had to be in her 20s. Seriously, Senior Manager of Global Intelligence.
Probably. I don't know. I don't know a whole lot about that. I know a little bit about, corporate espionage, but sure, that's the kind of person who can worm their way and get information. Absolutely.
Well, she was sentenced to 13 months in prison.
Okay.
Stephanie Stockwell, Manager of eBay's Global Intelligence Center, she was sentenced to 24 months probation.
Probation. So she didn't have to watch Orange is the New Black the way the other one did.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think she got a lighter sentence because she pled guilty very early in the process. So I think this is the other 3.
What was her name?
Stephanie
So
Stockwell.
hi, you, Stephanie Stockwell. I'm guilty. I plead guilty. I did it. Mercy of the court.
The other 3 all pled guilty in 2022. The charges were filed in June of 2020.
Oh, wow. So there's a lot of haggling going on.
Yeah. And I'm
eBay
pretty
lawyers.
sure Stephanie Stockwell pled guilty in like October of 2020.
Okay.
So pretty early on because she's a little bit smarter than the
Yeah,
rest of them.
yeah.
Veronica Zay, turns out she was a contractor. She was an independent contractor who worked as an intelligence analyst for the Global Intelligence Center.
Corporate spies. I mean, effectively,
yeah.
they're gathering information however they need to.
Yeah. Well, she also pled guilty fairly early on. I think.
have no idea if that's true.
I don't know either.
May or may not.
I think she was same as Stephanie Stockwell in October of 2020. So she was sentenced to a year of home confinement and I think 2 years of probation after that. Brian Gilbert, he was a former police captain, and his title was Senior Manager of Special Operations for eBay's Global Security Team. Also an early guilty plea, October 2020. He got 1 year of probation.
That's just crazy.
Plus time served, whatever that means. Philip Cook, with an E, he was also a former police captain. He was supervisor of eBay's security operations. Also an early guilty plea, October 2020. He got 18 months in federal prison and 3 years of supervised release, including 1 year of home confinement. So he must have done something worse than
I know.
Brian
I
Gilbert.
wonder what the different charges are, the different levels of culpability are here. Yeah.
So 60 Minutes did an episode.
Or I wonder if you already played a part in that as well. Like the idea that they're more direct in this operation as the others are sort of carrying it out. I don't know. I'm confused how the CEO hasn't been indicted and in jailed yet, because he certainly should be.
We'll talk about that. 60 Minutes did an episode on this, I believe, in March of 2023. And at that point, no, eBay as a corporation had not been charged with anything, and neither had any top executives like Weimer and Wenig.
Always the case.
So this was eBay's statement to 60 Minutes. They did not participate in this episode. Quote, the conduct of former employees was wrong, and meaning eBay,
former employees
has
like that.
Cooperated fully with the government investigation. Well, no, they didn't.
I mean, just a flat lie.
Because Weimer is one of the ones who deleted a whole bunch of stuff on his phone. I think he deleted like all of August.
So that should absolutely add to your sentence. It should be obstruction and those kinds of charges that should add to your sentence.
So, like I said, at that point, eBay hadn't been charged, even though the plan, they have text messages where this whole thing was hatched in eBay's headquarters. Everything was paid for by eBay, but the prosecutor that 60 Minutes had, he's the one that prosecuted the other 7, but they had him on the episode, and he basically said there just wasn't enough evidence to charge the top executives, Wenig and Weimer.
Yeah.
And I forget who the 60 Minutes person was. But she said, like, really, we've seen some of those text messages. And he said, people say these kinds of things all the time.
No, they don't. Burn that bitch. Kill her.
And it doesn't
take her down.
And it doesn't mean they knowingly entered into a conspiracy with the others.
This was in mid 2020. So this would have been a Trump U.S. attorney filing those charges.
Well,
that's all I'm going to say.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, who knows?
Do the math. No, it would have been, obviously. For sure.
He essentially called it loose talk.
Oh my, no, wait, was it at locker room talk? I'm sorry, but oh my God. Yeah, this is definitely, they knew they had to do something.
Yeah.
They got some very, very short sentences to make it look like they did as much as they can. This is not quite as bad as, what's his name, in Miami, in Florida, where they took a pass on Epstein completely back in 2004, 2005 in Florida, where they essentially, the U.S. attorneys there covered it up, but this is the next best. This is a half a notch below that.
Well, I think maybe 2021 or 2022, they do charge eBay with some crimes, and eBay agrees to pay a $3 million criminal penalty as part of a deferred prosecution agreement.
And that's loose change.
Related to 6 criminal charges in the matter, harassment and intimidation, basically in retaliation for this couple's online reporting about them and for its obstruction of the investigation that followed. Deleted phone activity, texts, all that kind of stuff.
You've got to stop fining for white-collar crime.
I know.
You've got to put people in prison.
$3 million is the statutory maximum penalty they could be charged, because that's nothing to eBay.
That's a joke.
So, and also as part of this prosecution deferment agreement, eBay is also required to retain an independent corporate compliance monitor for 3 whole years.
3 whole years is some dude put in a tiny little office and ignored it for 3 years.
Yep, and to make
Anybody have lunch with me? No one ever eats lunch with me.
to make extensive enhancements to its compliance program.
Yeah. Okay.
So in July 2021,
Put them in jail, and they're never allowed to be in a C-suite again for the rest of their life.
Yeah.
I mean, you have
Yes.
to do that.
I know.
Where if you're caught,
Yeah.
you're going to pay a price that's going to hurt you badly. You lose your golden parachute, everything like that. I mean, you've got to have teeth to
we'll
white-collar crime.
talk about
you
golden
know?
parachutes in a minute. But so you think, well, what about the Steiners?
Yeah.
Sure, the federal government gets $3 million.
Yeah.
What about them? So in July 2021, Ina and David file a lawsuit
I was
against
gonna say,
eBay,
yeah.
including CEO Devin Wenig, the chief communications officer Steve Weimer, and the 7 defendants in the criminal case. They also sue an independent security firm called Progressive Force. Force is an acronym for something. I don't know. Progressive,
Wait.
FORCE Concepts.
Oh, good Lord.
I know. And eBay's former senior vice president of global operations, Wendy Jones.
Wendy Jones.
I don't know how she figures in this. And the CEO of this Progressive Force Concepts, his name is Steve Christek. And those ones were added to an amended version of this lawsuit. It claims that Wenig and Weimer, the CEO and corporate communications guy, provided the other defendants with carte blanche authority to terminate the reporting of the Steiners by whatever means necessary.
And we know that because they said it
Yep.
in print.
And then in the filing, they quote Weimer saying, quote, "I want to see ashes as long as it takes, whatever it takes."
Yeah. I mean,
And Weimer also apparently promised the 7 people who did get criminally charged that he would, quote, embrace managing any bad fallout if the plan went south. Also telling them, we need to stop her. Stop in all caps.
embrace. So we'll hire lawyers for you. We'll get you out of
Yeah.
repercussions. Okay, so
Yeah.
it's like Trump, for sure, has already told every single ICE agent that they'll be pardoned.
Yes.
Okay.
But also, we know they didn't.
Yeah,
He didn't. He
No.
deleted his shit and let them take the fall for
Well,
it. So
if you believe your C-suite
Exactly.
boss is going to look after you, you're an idiot.
the lawsuit further claims that, quote, all the horrific, vicious, and sickening conduct that followed was committed by employees of eBay and PFC while acting in the scope of their employment under the authority of and for the benefit of eBay and PFC. I mean, obviously. So this civil trial has not happened yet.
What?
I know. This is the way these things go.
That's crazy. It was just 21. That's insane.
It was
I know
scheduled-
there's some COVID issues maybe at the very beginning of that
Nah.
timeline potentially, but that's crazy.
Well, it was originally scheduled to begin March 3rd of 2025.
Which is also already crazy. This is what they do.
Yeah.
They drag you out.
Yep.
The justice system lets them do it.
Yep. Making you spend tons
Yeah.
more money on your own lawyers.
Money, time until you just give up.
But
or,
now
settle for pennies.
it's supposed to start March 2nd of this year, 2026. So the Steiners attorney did appear in the 60 Minutes episode. I did watch that. She said, yeah, executives take all the credit and responsibility for all the good things their employees do to make their company successful. It's all them, right? But then when their employees do something bad, we had no idea.
Always the playbook.
So, like I said, Weimer actually deleted his text messages after they got the notice that they're supposed to be preserving the evidence. And she said that's obstruction of justice.
Yeah.
And if she did it, she'd be in jail. Anybody else would be prosecuted for it. Why isn't he being prosecuted for
Absolutely,
that?
yeah. Clearly, like I said, they got a sweetheart deal.
So when eBay was first contacted by law enforcement, they hired a law firm to investigate the harassment, which I think is hilarious because Wenig knew exactly what was going on. Didn't really need an investigation, but that investigation concluded in September of 2019. So this was not a long investigation. And all of the people who were charged with the crimes, plus the chief communications officer, Steve Weimer, were fired. And so he was fired for cause.
Yeah. Well,
But so what?
Again, that's cutting your losses from the CEO is cutting
Yes.
all the losses. That's why they can say these former employees. I mean, I'm sure there are times where employees do stupid things without top brass knowing, but we know for a fact this was not that case.
Yes. This internal investigation, I mean, it was an outside law firm, but still, so what? It's an internal investigation.
Who's paying them? We're done.
Yeah. Found that neither Wenig, the CEO, or Weimer, quote, directed or knew that criminal acts would follow.
Although we for sure clearly have text that they
I mean,
they did.
that's just dumb. That's just law firm, please write
Yeah.
what we want you to write
sure.
to cover our ass. So Weimer got fired, but by the next year, he was hired as the head of a local branch of the Boys and Girls Clubs of America in San Jose.
There's a lot of corporate America and a lot of these major charities are thoroughly intertwined, and they do that a lot.
He is very well connected in San Jose.
Yeah.
He did work for like the mayors, like unpaid work for, I read an article. I don't know what the date of the article was, but at the time that this article was written said he had done work free of charge for whoever the current mayor was and the former mayor and of San Jose, which is a huge city.
Yeah.
And they both defended him.
Ugh, disgusting.
So,
Ska.
and the Boys and Girls Clubs of America, it's a children's charity, and they knew about his involvement in that whole scandal when they hired him. He says his texts were mischaracterized.
Shut up. Stop. Just own it. Admit responsibility.
Well, they're never
genuinely, hey, I
Apologize.
overreacted. I did, apologize and mean it. And stop being such a dick.
He says that he learned about what the employees did only after the fact.
You're an absolutely liar.
Then why'd you get fired,
Yeah.
Steve?
No, Steve's a liar. Steve, you're a liar, dick.
Well, the CEO. Wait a second.
We're going to harass. If we're going to read. Okay,
know.
if you see a book that talks about, okay, I didn't send it. I'm going to send it to her just to freak her out.
And the internal investigation said that the CEO's messages were, quote, inappropriate, but the internal investigation concluded that he didn't know about the stalking and harassment
it doesn't-
activities.
yeah.
Just stupid.
It doesn't matter. You said do whatever it takes. You directed them to get revenge. You wanted to see ashes. It doesn't matter what their specific tactics were. You're responsible for that outcome.
I think those came from Weimer, not Wenig.
Yeah, but Wenig had told Weimer it's just down the food chain.
Yeah, yes. And Wenig told 60 Minutes that he was appalled at what happened. And if he had known about it, he would have stopped
You're
it.
such a liar. Because you know why? Because you did know about it.
So
I mean, I'm sure they wouldn't give him daily reports, but he knew about it.
you talked about golden parachutes.
Yes.
Devin Wenig, who was the CEO at the time, who was already under stress and pressure from that hedge fund investor,
Now I'm on Elliott Management's side.
he left eBay in September of 2019. So,
Really? That
Very
long ago?
quickly.
Wow. That's surprising.
but I think he's fine because he got a $57 million severance package
$7 million.
in addition to the
A fucking low.
40 or 50 million he had already gotten.
That's just the last few
past
years.
3 years. Yeah. So after the harassment scandal became a big news story, he got reelected to the board of General Motors for one thing. And I'm sure
All these people are just
They
such assholes.
pay
Is it-
him
is it-
a nice little.
I mean,
And I read this on Reddit. I didn't check it to make sure it's true, but it's not that exciting. But he's on the global advisory board for Salesforce also.
doesn't surprise me. They're
Yeah.
all just one little clubby, douchey, elite oligarch types, and they forgive one another. And they, in fact, if anything, it's just like, oh, bro, you got caught. That's cool. Come work for us.
So in that, like I didn't get to watch the documentary, but I read an article about it, and apparently Veronica Zay appears in it.
Really?
Yeah, so it would be interesting to see what she says. So please let us watch it
Yeah,
in the
tell us
United
what
States.
Veronica-
But one quote from her was that she believed that anything they did would be sanctioned by the company. So
That seems fairly clear. Yeah.
clearly. She also said she was terrified and that this was the culture that Jim Baugh created. If you don't do what I tell you, you'll never be able to find another job. And, she was young.
Yeah.
And I'm not excusing what she did. that it's stupid. You can get another job. But, it's just a little bit shocking that this was going on in amongst the like Me Too kind of stuff. And apparently Jim Baugh would show films to his staff like I didn't
Clockwork
write
Orange.
any of them down.
Force their eyes open and make them watch war. No.
Shoot, no.
Damn it.
And hiring young women.
Yeah, well.
Like I said, I read this after I wrote in my notes that it was notable
Seems like a
that
pattern.
these women were all young and pretty. He called them Jim's angels.
He's vile.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Who does he work for now? Did you find out?
No.
Okay.
But-
I'll bet you he does. I bet he works for some tech
Well,
company.
If he was sentenced in, I don't know when he would have been sentenced. They were charged in 2020. He pled guilty in 2022, so he's still in prison.
Yeah, we hope.
He got 5 years.
Yeah.
He got the biggest.
He'll come out and work for Palantir.
So anyhow, that is the story of the eBay stalking scandal.
Yeah. So biggest e-commerce company in the world, a Fortune 500 multinational corporation with billions upon billions of dollars of revenue, has this little newsletter that says something innocuously not that bad, but public information, and you just go hellbent, scorched earth, revenge. It's just the level of thin-skinnedness of those folks is unbelievable. I mean, they always act like they're so badasses and they strut and they think they're so important, but they are almost all just genuinely weak people who tend to be very thin-skinned. I mean, Elon Musk is notoriously thin-skinned and lashes out at anyone who says anything bad about Elon Musk, and they act like they're so above it all, and they're clearly not.
When I Googled this, to see what articles and stuff would come up. There, you always get a Reddit thing.
Yeah.
So I clicked on it because it was people talking about the documentary or the 60 Minutes episode or something like that. And one person commented, if you want to see the lengths eBay will go to protect their public image, try saying anything critical about them on Reddit's eBay
Really?
thread, whatever they're called. He said, you will be banned and muted instantly.
You can do that on your thread? Like Reddit controls that thread on?
Well,
I'm sorry, eBay controls that thread on Reddit?
Well, they're not supposed to. So there's like I don't know what the lingo is, r/eBay. And so it's supposed to be moderated by somebody. I guess like whoever starts it, right?
Whoever starts it,
is a moderator. It's not supposed to, Reddit's rules say you can't be paid to moderate an eBay, a Reddit thread or forum or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
And so this person says it's obvious that
it's an eBay person.
it's called a sub. It's moderated by eBay employees, which is a violation of their terms. I mean, obviously nobody can prove that, but when you're banned and muted for saying anything bad about eBay.
Well, you know what Reddit is? Reddit is a multinational tech corporation who is probably very friendly with the folks over at eBay ad infinitum. So, yeah, it's all, I mean, it's honestly, it's frightening because it is really becoming monolithic in terms of it's just intertwined. The communications, the media of this planet, certainly in the U.S. at least, is becoming narrower and narrower. Terrifying, Carrie.
Yeah.
Terrifying. I mean, you have the First Amendment in politics, but it's kind of like you don't have a First Amendment in the corporate world and being honest about your opinions in the corporate world, because at least once they notice you, when you have any kind of a reach, then they come after you. So it sort of negates a First Amendment. If a government had done what they did, what eBay did, should be outrage. I know this government now is starting to do things like that, but look what's happened. There's been outrage. Eventually there will be consequences. There was very minimal consequences for eBay. And here's the thing. I'm sure this kind of thing happens. Probably not to this degree and this vicious, but things like that happen. Although, like you just said,
they must.
On Reddit, they essentially are censoring free speech on eBay's Reddit thread. So, yeah.
Interesting.
It is. It's scary. It's almost certainly going to get worse because those companies are getting bigger and the federal law is more and more in their favor.
Yeah.
So great, Carrie. Thanks.
You're welcome.
so much for that. That was a story of, I'm going to call that eBay's Revenge. What do you think?
Sure.
All right.
Sounds good.
Appreciate
I didn't listen to it, but I wanted to let people know if they're super interested in this. Apparently, Behind the Bastards podcast did a 2-part story on this, and they're funny, and they get lots of details about stuff that I don't know where they get how they do their research or where they get their information from. Like one thing was I just read about somewhere that they found out that the team, they wanted to put a GPS tracker on the Steiner's car. Why? I don't know. But
Arrest them.
But they didn't count on the fact that the Steiners actually parked their car in the garage, so they couldn't get access to it. So they were going to break into the garage to put a GPS tracker on it. Or you could just wait till they go to the grocery store.
To the grocery store, exactly.
So stupid. So anyway, go listen to that if you want to.
Okay. I'm not going to, but okay.
I might.
All right.
I like that podcast. I haven't listened to it in a while.
Okay. Any other podcast recommendations for
I'll come up with
our
some.
podcast audience? Okay.
I'll come up with some.
Okay.
Bye.
Well, thank you.
Oh.
Okay.
I'm already out.
You hanging up on me? We're not on our phone. Thank you for listening. We will see you next time.